Hey y'all, welcome to TXC Tells All, or welcome back if you're one of our subscribers. So, as you guys probably saw, we are going live again today to talk about the Nicole Linton Nurse Nikki case. So, if some of y'all missed my last live that I did on this, it's really a real tragic story. The nurse who ran through the intersection in LA, in Windsor Hills, and killed 6 people. Her case has been going on since around August. She was obviously put in jail, and there's been some new developments. So, rumors have been going around about her mental health. First, they were thinking it was intoxication because of the speed that she went through the intersection, pretty much instantly killing 6 people. A car burst into flames between the speed and the impact and the fires. People lost their lives, 6 people, including a unborn baby. So, um, really tragic story. We've been, all asking ourselves what happened. Is there going to be some new information? If you joined the last live, we talked about them ruling intoxication out. She was not intoxicated. She was not on drugs. She was not under the influence of alcohol. So what was going on? Let's give people a few more minutes to check in. I know last time we did a live, I really got some good comments from, the people who joined, our subscribers. It was a good conversation. Obviously, a horrible situation, but talking about the victims and what's going to happen to Nurse Nikki, Miss Linton. Is she gonna get bail? Should she get bail? And what charges are going to be brought against her? They've definitely brought charges of murder against her so far. But let's just talk about the new developments in the case. So when we talked last time, they had denied her bail. The judge had denied her bail. But in these types of cases, you can have a rehearing on that issue sometimes within weeks, sometimes within a month, depending on the case. So in her case, back on August, I think it was around August 4th, when they denied her bail. Initially, she was going to have a bail review hearing on August 31st. That ended up not happening. As you guys may or may not know, in the legal world, there are always delays. So that ended up not happening, and the bail review hearing actually didn't happen until this past Monday, September 12th. So what happened on September 12th? Y'all tell me if anybody's joining in. Make sure you check in, say hello. And what do you think? Do you think that she got bail? Have you been following the story? I'll give people a few seconds. I see a few people joining in. Um, Many people that I've spoken to and that I've seen, commenting on the articles about this case on social media have said, she should not get bail. I'll tell you the argument that the district attorney, Mr. I think it's Gaston, was making in, I'm sorry, y'all, let me turn that off. In this case, is that she is a flight risk and she should not get bail. She's also a danger to the public. So that was the reason that he was arguing that she should not get bail. Y'all, I am sorry. Hold on one second. Let me turn the sound off on this. Okay, so that is the reason that he was saying that she should. What is going on? I promise y'all I turned my sound off. Okay. All right. So that is the reason why they were arguing that she should not get bail, because she's a traveling nurse. So originally she was from Houston, Texas. She was a traveling nurse actually working in LA. So part of the argument that she should not get bail is that she's a flight risk. She has the means to move around. She may get out of court and not come back to her court hearings there in LA where the case is being heard. I don't know if I necessarily think that is the issue. I think one thing that the judge was bringing out or bringing forth in this most recent hearing was that she may be a danger to the public. And I think that for me is more of the concern than the flight risk, is that she ran through an intersection, ran through a red light at, now we found out, 130 miles per hour. So you're going through an intersection where people are sitting at a red light at 130 miles per hour. That's a danger to the public. We don't know exactly, why yet, and it's starting to develop what happened that made her do that. But just imagine yourself, you're sitting at a red light, driving like you do every day to work, to school, to pick up your kids. and something like that happens, God forbid, none of us want to be in that circumstance. But I think what the judge was saying about her mental, if it is her mental state and she was able to do something like that, having her out of jail on bail is just not a good idea, because she could still be a danger to the public. So I think that came out as being more of the concern. But to what happened on Monday. So she had the bail review hearing and she did not get out on bail. I read an article. There were multiple people in the courtroom. Some of those people were the families of the victims. I know Asher Ray, the 23-year-old that was killed, baby Alonzo, and the child's father, the father of the unborn baby. Their family were all in court, and they started clapping when she didn't get bail. And I understand it. I mean, as a family member of a loved one who got killed like that, you would not want that person back out on the street, especially not this early in the case. The grief that they must be going through, I couldn't even imagine. And on top of that, for her to be released on bail, that's not something that they want. And I totally get it. So they said they were sitting, in the courtroom, and they, were applauding when she did not get released on bail. So, what are some of the new developments in the actual facts of the case? So, like I said, when it first happened, everyone was saying she must have been drunk, intoxicated. If you haven't seen the last live, there was actually a woman when it happened that got on social media and was saying that she was friends with Nicole Linton, and she had been in a bad breakup and they had been drinking together. The district attorney said they don't know who this woman is. She was not verified as somebody with actual real information. So those rumors circled around that she was intoxicated. That got debunked. She was not intoxicated at the time she ran through the red light and killed the 6 people. Since then, her defense attorneys have been arguing mental incapacity. So one of the things that has come out since the first hearing is that she may have had a loss of consciousness due to a mental health crisis, a mental health episode. And that is the reason why she was able to just run through that light at such high speeds. They're saying at the time she may have had a loss of consciousness and wasn't able to control her actions. In this most recent hearing on September 12th, the judge evaluated some information that has come out in them doing work on her car. So they actually do evaluations to see what happened. They took evidence from her car and said that she actually was going, that's how they found out the speeds, that she was going 130 miles per hour at the time. And also new evidence has come to light that she, at the time she was going through the intersection, actually pressed down on the accelerator. So pressed down on the gas and was in control of the steering wheel for at least 5 seconds. So I've seen 5 to 9 seconds. So she did not lose control. She was able to accelerate. She did not try to slow down or stop. And she went through that intersection at 130 miles per hour with control of the steering wheel. So what the judge was saying is she was able to control to make sure that her car went straight through that intersection. And that was another reason why they were saying there was no loss of consciousness here. Obviously, this is really early in the case. There still hasn't even been an arraignment. So usually in criminal cases, after the bail hearing, the arraignment would be the next step early in the case. Nicole Linton will have her arraignment on October 26th. That is going to be the next date, or at least as of now, it's supposed to be October 26th. And that's when she will be formally read the charges against her. And it's also when she will be able to enter a plea. Is she going to enter a plea of not guilty? Will she enter a plea of guilty? We don't know, but we'll see. So that's kind of what's been going on in the case so far. They ruled out intoxication. They ruled out complete loss of consciousness. Now, I don't know if that's still going to be something that her defense attorneys argue as the case goes on and they do more psychiatric evaluations on her and all of that. But as of right now, from what I've read, they're saying that she really, can't remember. And they're saying that's either from trauma related to the crash or from a mental health episode where she lost consciousness. So we'll see how the facts play out. It's a lot going on here. Obviously, you have the victims and their families who are still suffering and will continue to suffer, but they want to see some type of justice done here. But what justice is going to look like, as far as what she's going to, what her fate is going to be in the end, we really don't know yet. The judge that held the hearing on September 12th, her name is Judge Victoria Wilson. She said, she gave some really pretty strong statements as far as her view of the case. She said the victims in this case were either crushed or burned to death. She would have no confidence that Nicole Linton would not walk out and be a danger to the public. And the judge said she had a complete control over her maneuvers and steering before the crash. So kind of gives you an idea how the judge is viewing the case and viewing what was happening in those moments when Nicole Linton went through that intersection. I don't see her getting bail at all, honestly. The way the court has spoke about her actions and how they see her as a danger and a flight risk, I really just don't see them giving her bail at all. If you have some thoughts and comments on that, make sure you comment in. What do you think? Do you think she's going to get bail maybe later on in the future? I don't think so. And I think a lot of times with cases that are in the public eye, the media has been paying attention. Courts are less likely to award bail because obviously if she does get out on bail and a judge has made that decision and something else tragic happens, she's a danger to some more people, the court is going to be held responsible. People are going to be outraged because she was incarcerated and kept away from harming more people. And if she gets out on bail and something happens, that's just not something that the court or the district attorney wants on their head. So I don't think she's getting out at all. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that's pretty much the update right now. I know I told you guys last time I would keep following the story, and I intend to do that. So I just wanted to check in and let you guys know kind of what has been developing. So Nicole Linton, as of now, she's still behind bars, awaiting arraignment on October 26th. So once that happens at arraignment, I'll check back in with you guys as new facts develop in this case. Like I said, again, heart goes out to the victims. Tragic story, but interesting to follow the legal side of it and see what's going to happen to Nicole Linton. So for all of y'all joining in with me today, thanks for checking in on TXC Tells All. And if you're new to this story and you haven't really heard the backstory, go and check out my first video where we did the first live talking about what happened initially, so you can kind of catch up. And then I'll be back on or around October 26th to give you guys an update on what happens at arraignment. Take care.